Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we will be making some hidden paper clips with tea bags. So I'll just show you everything that you'll need. I have a whole heap of tea bags here, but what's interesting about these is they're like double. They were attached here, but I cut them open to take out the herbs and such. So I will be using these to make hidden paper clips to go onto my page. This is the kind of tea that I use for that. It is like tea to help you sleep, all natural ingredients and such. But it's the Brew Lala tea. So I don't know if these types of tea bags are common or not. I've never seen them before. And then I will be decoupaging these images into those. So this is a sheet that I will have available in my Etsy store. I just recently did it, like in the past week. And these are the ones that I want to be using. It is the Wild Garden tea cards, but I will link it in my description. And then we'll need some Mod Podge as well. So I don't actually have Mod Podge, but you can mix just normal Elmer's glue, 1 part glue and 2 parts water. So I don't actually know if this works well yet because I haven't made one of them, but we shall see. And then I have my ink and then some scraps, because on some of them I'll leave this string on and I just want to cover this with some pretty paper. Thank you for being here. I'll just get into it now. Okay, I cut out my images and I inked the edges. I don't know if it'll actually make a difference. And then one thing I forgot to mention earlier is I printed these floral images onto glossy photo paper so that it also can still look like a photograph. So I went ahead and did some experimenting because I've never actually done this before and I didn't want to do it on camera if I didn't even know if it was going to work. And then I just waste my supplies. So this is the first one that I did. I've already inked this one, which is why it looks a bit more grungy. As you can see, the images aren't really clear. So I didn't quite like that. So then what I did is I poured out some of the solution that I mixed. I mixed some instant coffee with some little bit of hot water, mixed it in that and added more glue. And then this was the result. So the images are a bit more clear, but I still didn't quite like that. And then what I did is I just used the Elmer's glue and the images are way more clear here. And then I just used my vintage photo ink and I inked it up. So I like this one the most. So I'm not even going to use my Mod Podge solution that I made. It might look much better if you have actual Mod Podge, or I'm not exactly sure what the effect will be, but this is what I will be using for these. What I did with this one, so I'll still be using these, is I covered this little tab and then I added some old book page. Sorry, my hands are full of ink and glue. And then a little charm, and that is these charms, these nail charms that I bought recently. And they're really cute, so they will be linked in my description. And I will be doing one on camera with you guys since it's very repetitive. And then, but I will be decorating them differently. They will not all be decorated like this because I would like some variety with these. I don't want them all to look exactly the same. So I'm going to take my tea bag, then I'm going to glue my images in, and I'm just going to glue the backs, and then I'll only be adding the decoupage or Elmer's glue onto the front, because the back, when I put my hidden paper clip in there, the glue will seep through this thin tea bag material. here we go. I'm just going to have to leave this to dry overnight. I almost dropped it. And then I will come back tomorrow where we will ink it and then decorate it a little bit. All right, here's the one that we did previously. And something I also did is I added a bit more glue to this top part just to make it a bit more sturdy. And then I also did a bunch of others, not just these, but I will be decorating these 4 on camera just to show you the kind of different ideas I have of decorating them, so they're not all the same. So for the actual hidden paperclip part, just take a scrap piece of paper and just make sure that it is thinner than your tea bag itself. I just measure about the length of the picture, fold it in half, and then I also make sure that it will actually fit in here. Yes, that is a pretty good fit. I'll ink around the edges. And now I'm just going to be gluing it on. The only reason that I do ink around the edges is just for the little bits that you'll see around the edge itself. Another thing that I like to use while making them is this. So those double-sided adhesive sheets that I use for my covers, I keep the edges the pieces that I peel off because they're non-stick. So when I glue it on, when I glue this in, I just put this little piece of paper between and then I clip the edges. That way I know I'm not gluing it shut, so I can glue it and leave it and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'm just gonna start making them now. I'm going to be doing all 4 of these, just decorating them a little bit. We'll just be fast forwarding this part. Then if I need to say something, I will just pause and say it. Please let me know if this is helpful to you or if you'd prefer that I do more of it, slow down and just explaining what I do. Oh, something else too. It definitely does help to ink the edges of the photos themselves because it does make it look a little bit more aged and you won't really be able to get ink in there now. I will still ink these edges, of course, so I might do that first before I actually glue these on. You don't need to ink though, I just really enjoy it. Okay, they're not completely dry yet, but I'll just want to show you how they look. So this is one of the ones that we made with the string hanging down. So I have 4 ways of making them basically. It is with the long string, and then it's 2 with eyelets. Where's my other one? Here's another one with eyelets. And then a one where I keep the actual little tab on that it comes with. So the purpose of this one is so that it could be a bookmark. So let's imagine that this is a page in our journal. I'll have to show you like this. Then this little charm here will hang down at the end and it can act as a bookmark, which I really like. And then the reason that I snipped each parts of these shorter is just so that it could go easier onto a page, that you don't struggle as much. I still struggle a little bit there, but it feels to me like it is much easier. Then with this one, I added a little charm onto that tab, and then a little charm up here as well. It is the nail art charms that I got recently. This glue isn't completely dry yet. So that's those two. These two are the ones with the strings. And then this one you could do either with a bow or with this little bit up here, so it can just sit on top of a page and then you can tuck something underneath it if you like. And then this one over here is meant to be on the side of the page, but you don't have to do that either. You can also put it on top, but you can put it sideways onto a page, and then this little charm hangs off the edge of the page, which I think is super sweet. So yeah, those are basically my ideas on how to do these for different decoration ideas. They're not much different, but it does make it so that you're not doing the same thing over and over again, which I try to avoid so that all my journals can still be very unique. So that is it for today. Please let me know what you thought of this and if you enjoyed this. I thought of this, I didn't see it somewhere, and I thought it was maybe a new idea, but when I looked it up I saw it had definitely been done before. So but I haven't seen ones that look exactly like this, so I feel like it is still something a little bit new. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye bye.